Welcome to the Royal Calcutta Turf Club Calcutta Races Spring Meeting, third day, Saturday, 17 February 2024 race preview. The first race of the afternoon is the Grand Annual Mile for horses 3-year-old, only to be run over a distance of 1600 meters. Couple of runners taking part in the Grand Annual Mile. First up, we got Lady Sunshine, who was in third spot as they entered the home straight, and came up with a run and eventually finished on second. Aeropoli, another runner in this race, was in fourth spot. Despite the jockey's best effort, was hanging in and eventually finished on fourth of 8 runners. The winner here was Global Influence. We move on to the second race of the afternoon, the Royal Challenge Handicap Division 1 for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26, eligible to be run over a distance of 1100 meters. The first runner we are looking at is Indian Tiger. This is from race number 85, where Indian Tiger was in second spot as they entered the home straight. When asked for an effort, started to drop back and eventually finished on 8th of 10 runners. The winner here was Archway, who came up with a late run and won that race by a long neck. Next up is Cuban Pete. This was from race number 83, where Cuban Pete was in 6th spot as they entered the home straight and was the inside and eventually finished on 6th of 8 runners. The winner here was Swift Lady, who won that race by about 4 lengths. Next up, we got a couple of runners. This is from race number 95, where Mr. Perfect and we had Seller Moore both ran together. Mr. Perfect was on a start to finish mission, then started to backpedal and eventually finished on mid-punch. Seller Moore was having her first start in Calcutta after coming down from Western India, was in 5th spot, then came up with a run down the center and eventually finished on 3rd. The winner here was Smash Shot. Couple of runners again. We have Impermanence and number 6 Regency Gold. Impermanence, who was in 3rd spot, made up a placing and eventually finished on 2nd. Regency Gold, who raced a little wide throughout the race, finished on 9th of 10 runners. The winner here was Blinky Bill, who won that race by 2.5 lengths. We move on to number 7, Italian Gold. Italian Gold has had 3 starts so far. His best start was second start in race number 20, where finished on second to Tropical Lady. Last start was in race number 58, was in 4th spot. When asked for an effort, went back a place and eventually finished on 5th. The winner here was Venino. This run was over 1600 meters. Number 9 is Thalamis. Thalamis has had 3 starts so far. Best start was the last start, where it was a little slowly out of the gates. This was in race number 68. Took the turn in 3rd spot and stayed on in 3rd, almost 2.5 lengths from the winner, which was Rocket Man, who won the race eventually by a short neck. We move on to the third race of the afternoon, the Royal Challenge Handicap Division 2 for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26, eligible to be run over a distance of 1100 meters. A couple of runners first up. We got number 1 Dance Along and number 7 Magnite. Dance Along, who was in 8th spot, made up a couple of placings and eventually came out and finished on 6th. Magnite, who was traveling in 2nd spot throughout as they entered the home straight, then started to backpedal slightly and eventually finished on 5th. The winner here was Blinky Bill. Number 2 is Castillo. Castillo, this run is from the previous winter season, where Castillo ran in race number 108, was in a start to finish mission as they entered the last 100 meters, then started to really being gobbled up by the rest of the runners. They eventually finished on mid-bunch. The winner here was Only You, who came up with a run down the center and got the race. Number 3, Sporting Trainer, winner of his last start. Sporting Trainer took the turn in 6th spot after being a little slowly out of the gates, then came up with a run down the center, took charge into the last 100 meters and won the race by almost 2.25 lengths. Couple of runners again. Number 5 is Trebia. Number 8 Nationwide. Trebia, who's had 4 stars so far in the season, has been knocking on the doors. Took the turn in 3rd spot, and this was in race number 83. Then stayed on in 3rd. Number 8 Nationwide, after coming down from Western India, this was the first start Nationwide had, and was trailing the field home and finished on a lonely last. The winner here was Swift Lady. Number 6 is Calcutta. Calcutta had 1 start after coming from Madras. This was in race number 68, where Calcutta was slowly out of the gates, took the turn in 6th spot and eventually finished on 6th. The winner here was Rocket Man, who won the race in a close finish. Couple of runners. Number 9 Diamond Gold. Number 10 Pelagia. Diamond Gold took the turn in front and was leading the pack, then started to really drop back and eventually finished on 7th. Pelagia, who took the turn in 7th spot, dropped back a place and eventually finished on 8th. The winner here was Liban. We move on to the 4th race of the afternoon, the Silver Beauty Handicap for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26, eligible to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. The first runner we're looking at is Rocket Man. Rocket Man as a winner in race number 68, where it went on a start to finish mission into the last 100 meters, got a shocker from Swift Lady but held on by a short neck to take the mount of P.S. Chauhan. Number 2 is Dubai Dunes. Dubai Dunes has had 3 starts so far in the season, has been unplaced in all 3 starts. First up in race number 9, finished on 11th. Race number 58, finished on 7th. Last start was a little slowly out of the gate. This was in race number 67. Took the turn in 8th spot, then dropped back and finished on last of 9 runners. The winner here was Tusa, who won the race by 4.25 lengths. Number 3 is Sagittari. Sagittari was a winner in 1 start in the monsoon season in race number 33, and this season in race number 30 took the turn in 3rd spot, then dropped back, and it was noted after the race that Sagittari was trotting lame to take the mount of Vinod Shinde. Number 4 is MSG Fantasy. Couple of starts for MSG Fantasy after switching base from West Southern India. In race number 67, finished on 7 to Tucson. The run we are looking at is from race number 86, where MSG Fantasy took the turn in 8th spot, then dropped back and eventually finished on 2nd last of 11 runners. The winner here was Sienna, who won the race by 3/4 of a length. Number 5 is Palcha. Palcha has had quite a few starts in this season. Best start was in race number 33, where finished on 3rd to UV. Subsequently has had 2 unplaced efforts, including the one we are looking at, which is from race number 52, where Palcha took the turn in 5th spot. When asked for an effort, dropped back and eventually finished on 7th of 10 runners. The winner here was Oh My Darling. Couple of runners. Number 6 Aretha. Number 9 is Hellblazer. This was from race number 95. Aretha was a little slowly out of the gates, was in 11th spot as they turned for home, then made up a placing and eventually finished on 10th of 14 runners. Number 9 Hellblazer, who took the turn in 6th spot, when asked for an effort, started to backpedal and eventually finished on 11th of 14 runners. The winner here was Smash Shot. Couple of runners again. Number 7, Tender Heart. Number 10, Remy Red. Tender Heart was in 6th spot at the end of the home straight. This was in race number 92. Then dropped back a place and finished on 7th. And number 10, Remy Red, which was having his first start after switching base from Western India, was in 7th spot. Then came up with a late dash and eventually finished on 4th. The winner here was Blinky Bill. Number 8 is Wink and a Smile. This was from race number 83, where Wink and a Smile was having its first start in the Calcutta track, was in 7th spot, then stayed on in 7th and eventually finished on 2nd last. The winner here was Swift Lady, who won the race by almost 4 lengths. Number 11 is Lightning Charlie. Couple of starts for Lightning Charlie. First up in race number 59, finished on 3rd to Speculator. Then in race number 90, was in 5th spot as the end of the home straight, made up a placing and eventually finished on 4th. The winner here was Liban, who veered out on the extreme outside and won the race by almost 3.5 lengths. We move on to the 5th race of the afternoon, the exclusive Virtue Cup for horses rated 61 to 86, rated 41 to 66, eligible to be run over a distance of 2,000 meters. We got 5 runners going to post for this one. The first runner we are looking at is number 2, Forever Together. A couple of starts for Forever Together in this season. First up in race number 42, finished on 7th behind Rodrigo over 1,200 meters. Then in race number 56, the one we are looking at, took the turn in 9th spot, ran on a detached last of 9 runners. The winner here was White Roses, who won the race by almost 5 lengths. Couple of runners. This is from race number 80, where we had Burmese, who was a winner of first start in the season in race number 21, where it got the measure of Horus the Great. Subsequently, 2 unplaced efforts, including this one, where Burmese, after traveling in 5th spot most while, finished on 6th. We had Kiefer after winning 2 races back to back. Kiefer was looking for a hat trick, but not to be done. Kiefer was in 3rd spot, then weakened and eventually finished on 5th. The winner here was Flying Scotsman, who made this a back to back win. Number 5 is Amber Knight, has been ultra consistent in this season, finished on 2nd in his first start, since then has finished on 1st in 3 or 4 starts. In this race, Amber Knight was a little slowly by design, then in the 2,400 meters was giving them a long start as they entered the home straight, started to bridge the gap and eventually took charge into the last 100 meters and won the race by almost half a length. We move on to the 6th race of the afternoon, the Fiddler Handicap for horses rated 1 to 26 to be run over a distance of 2,000 meters. The first runner we're looking at is Born to be Spoiled. 3 starts for Born to be Spoiled. First up in race number 78, was a little slowly out of the gates and eventually finished on 5th. Race number 86 finished on 6th behind Sienna. In race number 96 was in 4th spot as they entered the home straight and a small field and eventually came out and finished on 3rd of 4 runners. The winner here was Lucky 9. We had rest of the 4 runners taking part in the race number 97. We had Tiger Blood, who took the turn in 11th spot, weekend and finished on 12th. We had Your War, who was in 13th spot, made up a few placing and eventually finished on 9th. We had number 4 Access, who took the turn in 7th spot, dropped back rapidly and eventually finished on 13th of 14 runners. We had Cairo. Cairo took the turn in 12th spot, made up a placing and eventually finished on 11th. The winner here was Dubai King, who won the race by a widening margin of 6 1/4 lengths. We move on to the 7th and last race of the day, the Fireflash Handicap for horses rated 41 to 66, rated 21 to 46, eligible to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. First up, we got 3 runners, Rimmel, DRD and Whistleblower. This was from race number 101, where Rimmel was in a positive spot in 3rd spot as they entered the home straight, then weakened and eventually finished on 5th. We had number 5 DRD. DRD was on a start to finish mission and was fluttering for a while, but there was a late surge by Zuma and DRD had to settle for 2nd spot. Whistleblower, who was racing in 6th spot, did not really make any impression on this race, finished on 6th. The winner was Zuma. Number 2 is Celtic Harlequin. 3 starts for Celtic Harlequin so far in this season. First up in race number 21, finished on 4th. Then race number 57, finished on 6th. Last start took the turn in 6th spot. This was in race number 70. Then started to make gradual improvement towards the inside and eventually came out and finished on 3rd. In the money, the winner was Mandolin, who won that race by a length and a quarter. Number 3 is La Dominate. Couple of starts for La Dominate, has had a change of stable. First up in race number 13, finished on 2nd to Rodrigo. Race number 53 was in 4th spot, then came up with a run and eventually finished on 3rd. The winner here was Black Coffee, who won the race by almost 5 lengths. Number 4, Star Justice. Number 10, See She's Our Star. This was in race number 96. Star Justice was in 12th spot, made up a couple of placings and eventually finished on 10th. She's Our Star took the turn in 8th spot and eventually weakened slightly and eventually finished in a clustered finish, but in 9th spot out of 13 runners, the winner was Archway, who won that race. This was Archway's 2nd win of the season. Number 7 is UV. UV has a winner in race number 33, where UV got the measure of Swift Lady. Subsequently has had a couple of place efforts. In race number 64, finished on 3rd. Over here was on a start to finish mission into the last 100 meters. There was a run down the center by Mandolin, and all UV could do was the next best thing, finished on 2nd. Number 8 is Amalfidana. This was from race number 4, where Amalfidana was in 4th spot, came up with a run on the wide outside and made up a placing and eventually finished on 4th. The winner was Merope, who won the race by a length and a half. Number 9 is King Roger. A couple of starts for King Roger, has been slowly out of the gates in both of his starts so far. This was the run we are looking at is from race number 81. Took the turn in 8th spot, stayed on in 8th. The winner here was Hall of Grace, who won the race by almost 5 lengths. Number 11 is 26 Black. This 26 Black has campaigned in the 1000 Guineas, where she finished on 4th, in the Oaks, where she also finished on 4th. Last start was in race number 71, where 26 Black was in 3rd spot, and when asked for an effort, dropped back slightly and eventually finished on 4th. The winner here was Amber Knight, who won the race by almost half a length. Number 12 is Dubai Star, who's had a couple of eye-catching starts in this season. Race number 7 finished on 2nd. Race number 30, after being a little slowly out of the gates, finished on 3rd. Last start was in race number 64, where Dubai Star was in 9th spot, but made up only a couple of placing and eventually finished on 7th. The winner here was Black Eagle. So that's your lineup for the day, ladies and gentlemen. See you at the races.